Alright, y'all. Well, you might wonder why in the heck Jason has some 2x4s stood up under a dump trailer and all that. We've got a problem. This is my brother-in-law's trailer. He bought it because he felt like it was kind of the best choice out of everything that he's seen. I don't really disagree. It seemed like it was all built pretty good. It's a Rawmaxx. I don't know. Let's get a good view of that. It's a Rawmaxx. I don't remember the model. It's like a GDX something, but it's the Night. It's 14 foot, or it's 14 foot. It's got 32-inch sides. Huh?
12 foot, 14K.
No, it's 14 foot. See, I know which trailer is more than you.
Yeah,
it's 14 foot. 14K trailer. I've probably loaded it half of the times that it's had anything heavy in it. I don't feel like we've ever overloaded it. We've had 6, maybe 8 72-inch buckets of topsoil in it, and that's probably the heaviest thing we put in it. So, I don't know, I'm probably going to have to get a straight edge. I don't know if it'll show up on camera, because grade and all that is hard to get. But if that shows up, look at that cross member back here, closest to the hoist. It's got a smile in it. It's not supposed to smile. I've actually looked at stock photos of them, and they do not have a bow in them, which, I mean, you could probably guess that it shouldn't. But we actually have somebody else. I've got a buddy of mine that works for the city, and he has the identical trailer, and that's kind of what talked Nathan into buying this trailer, is because he liked it so much after we looked at it that he bought the trailer. Well, I know the city has not overloaded theirs. They're afraid to put anything in theirs. Their cross members boat also. So Nathan got a Nationwide Trailers, which he kind of went there on my recommendation because I like their service. That's where we bought the little PJ, the little T1 or whatever that is. It's a nice trailer, been happy, and he was happy with service, so was I. He took it up there for the warranty because obviously the cross members bowed, and he left it there for a couple days. Rawmaxx denied the claim. Well, Nationwide was at least nice enough to give him a couple cans of paint, but obviously they can't do anything if the trailer manufacturer denies the claim. So we were like, you know what? We'll fix it ourselves. No harm, no foul. It kind of sucks. We got a brand new dump trailer, and the warranty's probably not worth what they wrote on a piece of paper, obviously. With some investigating, I would have guessed this was at least 1/4-inch tube. If you look at them, so the radius will usually tell you a lot on tubing. So if this was a sharper radius, I would say it'd be 1/8 inch. But 3/16 starts with this long radius on the side. I was guessing this would probably be 1/4. If I didn't do any engineering or anything, I'd guess that this was 1/4-inch tubing. Well, we cut a little slot here, and I use really good duct tape, so I probably can't get that to rip without doing something to it. But we made a little cut in it before we investigated further, because we knew we were going to cut this out. That's 3/16 tubing. So then I went to the website. He called the trailer place, and they verified it's 3/16. I looked on the website, so all 3 of these cross members here are 3/16, which probably isn't bad unless you have a 14K hoist attached right to it, and obviously it'll bend that center cross member. So now we're going to cut it out. And I think I've got a pretty good plan to how we're going to get it out and not have to manipulate a whole bunch. We might have to make 2 gussets. I don't know if we're going to get these 2 gussets out clean. These gussets have to be relieved like that for when the bed comes down. It's got to have room to get in there. So we may have to spend some time making those. But we went ahead. I looked around. It's 3-inch by 4-inch tubing. Nobody really had it in stock here in Kansas City. So one place could only get 1/4, but I called my steel place that I normally get stuff from. They said, oh, we can get 3/8, we can get it tomorrow. And I said, just order it up. So we're literally going to double the size of this cross member. I'm going to try to show you all the pertinent things that we're doing to get it in here and everything else. So hopefully if you have one of these trailers, I'm pretty sure Rawmaxx isn't going to warranty it because they didn't warranty this one. This trailer's maybe a couple months old, and it really hasn't had a whole lot of stuff in it. He usually hauls like trash and debris, stuff like that, nothing heavy. He's done a couple concrete tear out jobs, never been overloaded. He goes to the scale and dumps the stuff, so he knows he's never had more than 8,000 pounds in this trailer. And it's rated to haul 10,000 pounds, so we're a whole ton under what the limit is. And even when it's had that much, it's been stuff that you start to lift it up and it slides out the back. Anyway, so we're just going to cut this thing up and we're going to fix it, and it should be the last time we have to mess with it. So that's why we've got kickstands. We put two 2x4s together. Hopefully that's enough. We've got them clamped. We're trying to be safe. We've got the kickstand up. I've got a couple pieces of cribbing, some 6x6s we're going to put in between the frame and the bed. So we should be totally fine. My plan is we're going to take a Sawzall and we're going to cut clean right along this beam and try to make a cut basically like that. So that'll be a nice clean cut. This tubing is actually capped on the outside, and the larger piece of the tubing is on the top on this cross member. I don't know why, but they have it engineered and all that. The bigger piece is on the bottom on this one, which is kind of odd, but I'm sure it's for everything to fit. So we're going to cut straight up here, and then I'm going to torch out this, and I'm going to get this chunk of tubing out. So then we're basically going to leave the tubing here, and then I'm going to notch it to fit up here, and then we're going to fill it weld there. We'll go ahead and V-groove it out and everything, fully weld this, and then what I think is I'm just going to make a new gusset to put in there. I've got plenty of plate and everything else. We're just going to saw cut that with the Sawzall. There's some stuff up underneath there to hold the lines up. We ought to be able to just cut them off and reuse them. I'm going to put a jack underneath the hoist so we can hold that hoist where we need to. These should be holding the weight of the bed. That way we can kind of make sure that that's where we need it to be. We're going to get some measurements off that tube. But I bet you that tube, Nathan, we need to let's find a straight edge. I want to see how much that tube is dropped. That way we have it documented. So if anybody ever says anything like, no, this is what it is, I'm trying to let you guys know, because this is an expensive trailer. I don't pull the YouTube card on a whole lot of people at all, ever. I want them to treat me just the same as they treat you. I don't want them to know that, hey, not that my viewing audience could hurt a whole lot of Rawmaxx, but if I can help you guys not buy one and save some money, even if you go along top of the frame rails. We can go on top of the frame rail even, just sit it up there, and then we can measure here, grab a tape measure, let's measure that. That ought to be a pretty good straight edge. That's 2-inch, half-inch thick flat bar, so that ought to be fairly straight. We're going to measure the dip. It's on the toolbox. Yellow DeWalt should be right there. It should be. Look in the cabinet on the shelf in there where the other stuff isn't, maybe there also. But we're going to measure that and see how much of a dip that is. We can measure from here, and it ought to be basically straight. Measure it from here to the top, bottom, whatever you want to do, and then measure the center in a couple spots and see. I'd measure it all the way over here, so at least it's close. We got 7.5 to the top. Yeah, measure maybe there. It looks like it's
8.5 to the top.
Yep, so it's dropped an inch. Measure the center. Maybe it's lower in the center. About the same.
Yeah, that's 8.
I mean, it's probably fairly straight in between the two. Yeah.
It's bowed more on this side because it picks up weird now.
Oh yeah. So it's bowed an inch. In the city of Baser, they've got one. It's not bowed quite as bad as this. It didn't look like. We went by and looked at theirs just to see if, for some reason, they engineer a bow into it. But all the stock photos show them dead straight. So I would assume we're bent, and we don't have as much dump angle as we used to. So I don't know what the math is, if that bows down an inch, how much it takes out of that hoist, but I know you move them an inch forward or back either way, and it changes your dump angle a decent amount. So we're going to put it in just like factory. They've already got the dimensions figured out and everything. We're going to chop it out. We've got heavy wall tubing in there. Like I said, we're doing 3" by 4" by 3/8 wall. So it's literally doubling the size of that wall. Hopefully it works out. So I guess hang out and watch how to fix your trailer if you bought one of these, because I'd say they're not going to warranty it. And if you're looking at one of these, I'd say don't buy one, because that tubing's probably not heavy enough. I'd say they need to at least go to quarter. I don't know. I'm not an engineer, but I build a lot of stuff, and we're going to see if this bends, and I'd imagine it won't. So hang out for the repair. I mean, we kind of assume that they...
It's got the notch in
I mean,
it.
I know what you're saying. I mean, it'd probably be simpler just to cut it and to put it up into that pocket.
Yeah.
We could go underneath and just jack it up, and
Yep.
it's in there.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah.
And then, like...
And then we just have to cap the outside, which ain't no... We have
Yeah,
to pull the
just
tires off,
pull
but that ain't
tires off.
shit. Yep. You want to do that?
Sure.
Okay.
If
I mean, I
that's
still got to get this out. I'll cut this then.
Yeah, cut the top part and then cut the bottom part and cut that flap out of it.
Yeah, we may have to maybe sawzall.
The bottom one?
Maybe sawzall the bottom. Otherwise, we got to jack it up, and then we fuck up everything we got here.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'll
ahead.
cut this,
Go ahead and do you.
because I don't want to blow towards the tire or nothing,
Right.
obviously. But I'll cut this, and then I'll cut each side.
Right.
And then that way, all we have to do, and then this top piece come off, and then when you sawzall that, or we could probably use the whatchamacallit. If you sat underneath there, we could use my the little quickie saw and cut that nice and flat on the bottom of that beam. It's gonna throw sparks one way or the other, but we could put a piece of OSB in it.
Sparks is one thing. It ain't no big deal.
Okay. Yeah, no, I didn't look in there yet.
Yeah,
I would have found it.
I just happened to notice it. And
Yeah. I just kind of assumed that they had a groove cut in it. I don't know why.
that's what I was thinking.
I mean, either way is probably fine. I don't see anything wrong with it.
Well, this way that we ain't cutting that beam, we just put it in there welded to it. You know?
Yeah. Okay, well, what we've done, we cut the cross member out. You guys seen that on time lapse. I'm trying not to make it a 3-hour movie about repairing a dump trailer that they should repair, but you can see that thing smiling at you right there. But we proved it. We put a straight edge across it, and well, I guess we don't need all that now. And we measured down to it. What they did, they notched the bottom part of that I-beam there, and they slid the tube up in it, and then they pocket welded the outside and just capped it, which I don't know if either way is a horrible way to do it. This will actually make it easier to repair. What we were guessing is that they notched this tube and then they slid it in before they welded it, and then just welded it up. This is going to be a much easier repair. We can literally put the tube from underneath, jack it up, slide it in, be done. So Nathan's going to finish cleaning stuff up over there. It's about 95 degrees or so. About 9, I don't know, it's probably 10 in the morning, but it's hot enough that I'm sweating so bad that my goggles are filling up with, well, there's a sun behind me. My goggles are filling up with sweat, and then I can't see because I'm like that, and I've got sweat rolling around in my goggles. I know it's gross, but if you're a welder, fabricator, or anybody that runs a torch, you know what I'm talking about. You can't see what the hell you're doing. Anyways, we're gonna get this cleaned up. We'll get the pocket cleaned up, get all the paint off of it, everything else. I've got a new 3/8 tube, which this thing, weight-wise, this is nothing. That 3/8 tube in there, well, him and I carried them in together because you could do it by yourself. I loaded it up on the bandsaw myself, but it's probably more than what you want to do all the time. It's quite a bit heavier. So I think it'll be an awfully good repair, but we've just got some cleanup work. We'll get her cleaned up. We'll come back when we get the beam up in it. All right. And then we have to weld the frame rail in first, and then we're going to have to adjust this to height. Okay? So just remember, we can't get hog wild and get ahead of ourselves and weld that to the tube.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
so that happens.
that is an inch lower than what it should be.
Right. Yeah, but I've got the dimension on our tube. It was 3/4 down from the top of that tube to this part.
Yeah. Yes.
That's probably good. You're probably good. That's probably good. That's probably good. That's pretty good. It's probably higher than what we need. But if you go ahead and grab that tube, if we slide that in, I ought to be able to get it down here. You can get it in your frame rail, and then we can take it back into yours and bring it up into this. Actually, let that jack down. No. Yeah, let the jack down just a touch. It's probably too high. Yeah, let's try that. That'll at least get us close. Okay, you want to slide that to me in?
Where is it?
It's just right behind you. You want me to get it? I can get it. I mean, I picked it up and carried it out there. And then we'll show everybody on camera the difference in between that cutoff and the factory. That's a big, big difference.
Got it?
Yep. Yep, okay. Come on, jack that jack up. I got it. Go ahead and jack the jack up. Alright, hang on. Okay, go ahead and jack her up.
Yeah, we just hit it. There we go. Probably pretty close. Ow!
Probably a little more. We gotta be 2 1/4 plumb to where it's not twisted.
Okay.
And that should give us, because this is 2 1/4 inch, so that's 2 1/4 off the flange. That's what our dimension was.
Okay.
So that ought to get us there, and then I can tack a couple 2 or 3 spots, and then we can go over there and get that in place, and then that beam ought to be in the right spot.
Okay.
You like it?
You like it. I love it.
Camera's rolling, I think. You guys going? Great. Let's check it.
Great.
Yep, it's going. It's in the sun, so it ain't gonna last very long. Those cameras, action cameras, do not like the heat. Imagine that, outside in the heat, and it doesn't like it. Okay. Hold me on ground, something.
Dude,
Talk to me, dude.
maybe
What's wrong?
it's just that. It was just sitting down a little bit. It looks.
Yeah, I didn't have it pulled up to the tab.
It didn't look like it was high enough. That's all. I think that's all it was.
Yeah.
Or do you want me? What do you want me to do here?
We're here to loosen this clamp.
Loosen this clamp.
Loosen the clamp. Yep. I'm gonna see if I can get down off clamper there. I know we're talking about like a 32nd of an inch, but
You say clamp it, right?
yep.
Okay.
Alright. Let's show the camera what we're doing, because somebody might have to fix this. Of course, my phone wants to ring all the time. Okay, when we checked our dimensions before we did all this, this tube is 2 1/4 inches up off this flat. So what it is, I got 2-inch tube with a 1/4 inch piece flat bar and a 1/4 inch piece of flat tab sitting over, so we can pull this tube up to it, and then we need to pull it forward because we're 46 inches from here up to that cross member, so that should be exactly where it was before. I checked both before we cut them out, and they were both 46 inches. So, and then we showed you, you know, you could cut the tube totally out because we thought it was notched, and it's not. So, I'm going to tack this. We'll go over there, we'll tack that, and then you want to do this. You want to do your hoist after you get this tube in. So, we're going to get that knocked out, and we'll be back. You guys don't need to watch me weld. We're just going to get it welded in, and then we'll be back. All right, hang out. All right, well, again, Rawmaxx, this is probably how you should have done it. Let's kickstand out of the way and lock down. I think that's out of the way. Where's the steel? Down. It's in the exact same spot as where it was before, but we did not tack it all up and then check it and make sure it didn't bounce. I don't know how they assemble them, but it's in the exact same spot as it was factory. I'd say we're good. That even pulls a little bit. All right, we'll lift it up. I want to show you what we did, how it worked out. I'll show you the differences of the tube. Oh, dang it, and I started to paint that side because they gave him some paint, and I was like, well, that looks like just regular gloss. It's just regular gloss. I've got some paint that'll kind of match this, but we'll cover most of it with that. It's high enough I can show you guys what we're doing. And if you guys know how to take this pump and wire it up to where we can gravity down it, that'd be appreciated, because we do want to gravity down it. Okay. Well, we boxed in the bottom side of that channel iron. We fully welded the, I don't know what you want to call that, the undercarriage rails, the scissor hoist rails. We fully welded them to the new beam. This beam is fully welded all the way around. We do need to weld up the opening on the end. It'd be easier to show you over here. This is up, and they've got it boxed in down here on the bottom. But we have to pull wheel and tire off. He had to leave. He works the railroad, so he left me. I've been here for about half hour, 40 minutes, finishing some stuff up underneath it while he had to go to work. We welded the little bars back on to hold the hydraulic lines back up. That is a nice little way to hold those up, so I welded them back on. Like I said, the only thing we have to do is box in the end of the tube and paint it. This is what we put in it, and this is what we took out of it. Let me sit down here so I can show you. And I don't know, it looks like we're making boats. You can see the smile on that. Okay, I mean, here you can see the difference. Here's a good cut with no weld. That's got a little bit of weld on it, but no weld, new tube. So now, I'm not saying that Rawmaxx needs to put 3/8 in it. I would have imagined that that would have been quarter. It does kind of suck that they didn't cover it under warranty. I don't know if Load Trail would. Maybe I'll call my buddy before the video comes out, and we'll do something after we get this totally boxed in and painted. But obviously, it's back in the same spot. It looks really good. It shouldn't really go anywhere. It's nice square with this frame rail up here. As long as this frame rail is square, that square in the trailer. We had a jack. I took that 20-ton bottle jack. It was underneath that channel iron in the middle, that 5-inch or whatever that is, and we could manipulate the height of that. Literally, when we put it back, everything went back in, and it was exactly where it came from. So, I'd say we're good. I think it's a good repair. Rawmaxx, do better. Do better. Put a heavier cross member in that dang thing so people don't call me in Kansas and have me fix a bunch of Rawmaxx trailers. But if they do, guess what? I know how to fix them, and we can get them fixed in probably half a day now. We took, a little more time than normal just trying to figure everything out. I'd probably put it in the shop so I didn't have to weld in the wind, because I'd weld, stop. I'd weld, it'd start blowing my gas out, I'd have to stop. I tried my umbrella, we tried some OSB. Next time, it'll just go in the shop, it'd be real easy. But anyways, if you have a Rawmaxx trailer and they denied your warranty claim, which if that cross member bent, I guarantee you they're going to. If they don't, let me know. We might have to have a discussion, because I'm pretty expensive if I have to charge them for this. But I don't see why they would fix one person's trailer and not another. Again, I didn't tell them, I don't say, oh, I'm on YouTube, I'm going to destroy you, because I don't have enough audience to do that. And I wouldn't try to do that anyways. I just don't want you guys to buy something that is inferior. I've never had a load trail trailer bend. I've had 3 different dump trailers. One was a 6-inch I-beam. I don't remember what the other 2 were. I know one was a 14-foot, like this. It was 7x14, 14K. And then the other one was a 6x12. I really liked that trailer. Had 2-foot sides on it, and I really wanted 3-foot sides. So I got rid of it, and then I didn't get another dump trailer. I got my dump truck. So, but all 3 of my dump trailers, I've loaded them heavier than this. I've never wanted to load this trailer very heavy because it's not mine. And I asked him, and he says, do what you would do. Well, I'm going to load yours lighter than I'm going to load mine. I'm going to load mine heavy, because if I bend it, that was my fault. So I've never loaded it heavy. The city's never loaded it heavy. And the city actually owns one, and they've never loaded theirs heavy. But every time they load his, they won't let. He's like, put some more out. They're like, no, just go. And we're by the load, by the hour, so he does what they want. So I guarantee you this thing has never been over the 10,000 pound capacity. I'm pretty sure you can't put 10,000 pounds in this, lift it up, and not bend that cross member, because this has had maybe 8 at the most. At the very most, it's had 8,000 pounds in it. So take it at you will. I'm just trying to warn you guys. Rawmaxx trailer, they did not warranty the bending cross member. So that is 3-inch by 4-inch, 3/8 wall tubing. Right there, that's what we put in it. The exact same size, just double the thickness. So we figured we couldn't go wrong if we doubled it. If it bends now, that's a serious hoist. I don't know. Or it needs to be re-engineered to a different size. Maybe it needs to be 4x4, 4x6. I have no idea. I didn't do any kind of math on it. I just figured if we doubled it, that was the thickest 3x4 we could get was 3/8. I figured we double it, it ought to be good. So, all right. There you go. Fixing a Rawmaxx. If you bought one, look underneath it. I'm not blaming Nationwide. Nationwide tried. They just couldn't get it approved, so we had to fix it ourselves. I'd blame those guys. All right, see you guys.